You've felt it, haven't you? That gnawing sensation that you don't quite fit in, that your presence disturbs those around you. In a world shrouded in superficiality, you are too real, too raw for the masses, and they sense it. This is your gift and your challenge. Embrace the reality that you're not like the others. You are chosen. And with that comes the burden of being too much for some people to handle. As a chosen one, your path is one of authenticity and raw power. This journey is not for the faint-hearted, but for those who dare to remain true to their essence. Despite the world's discomfort with your presence, you step into the office elevator and the chatter dies down instantly. The silence is almost deafening. You notice how the conversation changes from gossip about a colleague to meaningless small talk about the weather. They were speaking freely before you entered, but your mere presence demands a level of honesty they aren't prepared to give. They know that around you, they can't fake it. The elevator ride is brief, but in those moments, the atmosphere is thick with unspoken tension. It's as if they're holding their breath, waiting for you to leave so they can slip back into their comfortable illusions. You, however, are unfazed. You've seen this reaction countless times. You know it's not personal. It's a sign that your energy is too potent for their carefully constructed facades. Your raw, unfiltered energy exposes their insecurities, forcing them to confront their own superficiality. It's not easy for them to be around you because you represent what they suppress within themselves. The discomfort they feel is a sign of your power, a power that doesn't need validation or approval. You are the catalyst for their internal turmoil, the one who pushes them to face the truth they've been avoiding. And while this may isolate you at times, it also liberates you from the chains of societal expectations. You are free, and that freedom is what makes you unstoppable. You've been in relationships where you felt like you were too much, too honest, too intense, too real. It wasn't you. It was their inability to handle your truth. You loved deeply, passionately, and without reservation. But this intensity is often met with resistance. Your partners may have appreciated your honesty at first, but as time goes on, they find it overwhelming. They wanted the idea of you, the passionate, truthful one, but when faced with the full force of your authenticity, they couldn't cope. They wanted you to tone it down, to be less critical, less observant, less you. But you can't dilute your essence. It's not in your nature to play small or to hide your light just to make others comfortable. And so these relationships end, not because you were wrong, but because you were too right. Too right in your assessments, too right in your expectations, too right in your refusal to settle for anything less than the truth. You're in the middle of a heated argument with your partner. They accuse you of being too blunt or too critical. They say, "Why can't you just let things slide?" But you can't. You call out the inconsistencies in their actions and words, shining a light on the flaws they'd rather ignore. The argument ends with them storming out, unable to cope with the intensity of your honesty. It's not the first time this has happened, and deep down you know it won't be the last. This isn't about winning or losing an argument, it's about standing firm in your truth. You've been through this before, partners who loved your fire until they got burned by it. They wanted you to be passionate but not too passionate, honest but not too honest. They wanted a version of you that didn't exist. And so the relationship crumbles, not because of your intensity, but because of their inability to rise to meet it. These relationships don't fail because of your flaws, but because of your overwhelming authenticity that others cannot mirror. You're not too much, they're just not enough. The challenge isn't to find someone who can handle your truth, but to continue being truthful in a world that often prefers lies. It's a test of your resilience. Can you keep loving, keep being honest, even when it costs you relationships? The answer is yes, because to compromise your truth is to betray yourself, and you as a chosen one were never meant to betray your essence. Your authenticity is your greatest strength, but it is also what isolates you. People crave it, yet fear it, leading to a cycle of admiration and avoidance. You walk a fine line between being revered and being ostracized. People are drawn to your realness like moths to a flame, but they're also scared of getting too close, afraid of being exposed by the light you radiate. This dynamic creates a push-pull effect in your life. You're invited to social gatherings because people admire your candor and the energy you bring, but once you're there, you quickly realize that they aren't prepared for the truth you offer. They want you to be there, but they don't want you to disrupt the status quo. It's a lonely place to be, constantly balancing between being loved and being feared, between inclusion and exclusion. You're invited to a friend's birthday party, and as soon as you arrive, you notice the forced smiles and the shallow compliments being exchanged. You try to engage in genuine conversation, but it's clear they prefer to keep things light and superficial. When you point out that the birthday toast was more about the host's image than their actual friendship, the room goes cold. The admiration for your honesty quickly turns to discomfort, and you find yourself standing alone, drink in hand, while everyone else goes back to pretending. This isn't the first time you've been in this situation. You've seen how quickly the warmth of a social gathering can turn into a chilly silence when you speak the truth. It's not that people don't like you, they just don't know how to handle you. They don't know how to integrate your honesty into their carefully curated social dynamics. And so you're left on the outskirts, not because you did anything wrong, but because you dared to be real in a room full of pretenders. The more real you are, the more others are drawn to you, yet simultaneously driven away by the intensity of your presence. It's a paradox you've had to live with. Your authenticity is both your gift and your curse. You bring light to the darkness, but not everyone is ready to see what that light reveals. Some will distance themselves from you, not because they dislike you, but because they can't handle the truth you embody. But that's okay. You weren't meant to be understood by everyone. Your path is one of truth, and not everyone is ready to walk that path with you. The fake people in your life, those who hide behind facades, cannot sustain themselves around you for long. Your presence disturbs their demons, forcing them to flee. These Decepticons, as you may call them, are skilled in the art of pretense. They've built their lives on a foundation of lies, and they've become experts at hiding their true selves. But when they come into contact with you, their carefully constructed facades begin to crack. Your authenticity acts like a mirror, reflecting back the truth they've been avoiding. At first, they might try to stick around, thinking they can fool you as they've fooled others. But soon enough, they realize that their deception cannot survive in the light of your truth, and so they retreat, making excuses, creating distance, and eventually fading out of your life. This isn't a loss, it's a cleansing. You're shedding the dead weight of falsehoods that have no place in your journey. You've been friends with someone for years, but you start noticing their constant excuses and last-minute cancellations. They say they're busy, but you sense something deeper. One day you confront them directly. Are you avoiding me because I'm too honest with you? They deny it, but you can see the truth in their eyes. Soon after, they fade out of your life, unable to keep up the pretense. They've realized that their deception cannot survive in the light of your authenticity. This isn't the first time you've lost a friend because of your truth. It won't be the last. But with each fallout, you become stronger, more resilient. You learn to value quality over quantity in your relationships. You understand that those who leave were never meant to stay, and those who stay are the ones who truly see you. It's a painful process, but it's a necessary one. The Decepticons in your life are there to teach you discernment, to help you refine your circle until only the real remain. Understand that these Decepticons are not meant to stay in your life. They are a testament to the power of your authenticity, which reveals their true nature. Their departure is not a reflection of your worth, but of their inability to face the truth. You don't need to chase after them or try to mend what was never real. Let them go and focus on those who resonate with your truth. Your path is one of purity, and only those who can handle the light of your authenticity are worthy of walking it with you. Often these fake people won't confront you directly, but will instead observe you from a distance. They study your every move, imitating your style, your words, your very essence, but always from the shadows. They are too insecure to approach you directly, yet they cannot help but be drawn to your authenticity. It's ironic. While they may criticize or avoid you publicly, in private, they're taking notes, trying to decode the secret to your unapologetic way of living. They underestimate you, thinking that by keeping their distance, they can somehow capture your essence without being exposed to the raw power of your truth. They watch you, not to understand but to imitate, hoping that by copying your external behavior, they can somehow attain the internal strength you possess. But what they fail to realize is that authenticity cannot be mimicked. It must be lived, breathed, and embodied. You've noticed a pattern: people who never like or comment on your posts, yet they're always among the first to view your stories. You hear from mutual acquaintances that they've adopted your style, your phrases, even your interests, but they never engage with you directly. They're too threatened by your confidence to interact, so they settle for mimicking you from afar, hoping to capture some of your essence without ever having to face you. You can sense their eyes on you, their attempts to replicate what you do without truly understanding why you do it. They don't comment or engage because to do so would be to acknowledge your influence over them, and their egos can't handle that. So they remain in the shadows, trying to piece together your magic from the fragments they observe. But you know the truth: they can never replicate what is authentic because their foundation is built on falsehoods. Their behavior highlights their insecurity and their longing to possess what you naturally embody, a life lived in truth. But they will never truly engage with you, for to do so would force them to confront their own lack of authenticity. And so, they remain on the sidelines, forever watching but never participating, forever imitating but never truly living. Their attempts to copy you only serve to highlight the gap between those who live authentically and those who merely pretend. And in that gap lies your power, a power they will never possess. At work, you notice your colleague giving you the side eye during a meeting. You call out the passive-aggressive behavior, not with anger, but with directness. If there's something you need to say, feel free, you state, eyes locked on theirs. They fumble, suddenly uncomfortable in their skin, stammering out excuses. The room grows quiet. You've just revealed a layer of truth no one was ready to face. This is a common occurrence for you, being the one who speaks up when others prefer to stay silent. Your ability to cut through the superficialities of office politics makes you both respected and feared. They may not like what you have to say, but they can't deny the truth in your words. And so, you become the unspoken leader, the one people look to for guidance, even if they're too proud to admit it. Your presence alone changes the dynamics of any situation, and that is your power. During a family dinner, you find yourself at the center of an awkward silence after challenging a relative's outdated belief. "That's not how things are anymore," you say, your voice calm but firm. The air grows thick as everyone shifts in their seats, pretending to focus on their plates. You've just shaken the very foundation of the family's long-held but never questioned values. This isn't the first time you've disrupted the comfortable routines of your family. You've always been the one to question, to challenge, to bring new perspectives that others weren't ready to hear. It's not that you're trying to cause trouble. It's that you can't stand idly by while outdated beliefs go unchallenged. Your commitment to truth, even in the face of familial discomfort, is what sets you apart. And though it may cause tension, you know that growth doesn't happen in comfort. You post something genuine on social media, a thought-provoking idea or a challenge to the status quo. Your notifications explode, but not with praise. Instead, there are thinly veiled insults and comments laced with jealousy. Instead of backing down, you double down, responding with wisdom and unwavering truth. Some followers disappear, but those who remain, they're the ones who matter. This isn't just about social media. It's about your willingness to stand by your beliefs, even when they aren't popular. You've never been one to follow the crowd, and that's what makes you both loved and hated. The online world is just another battlefield where your authenticity shines through. Those who can't handle it will fall away, leaving behind a tribe of like-minded souls who appreciate your truth. And that's exactly how it should be. You were never meant to appeal to everyone, just those who resonate with your message. The world may try to dim your light, but your role as a chosen one is to keep shining. You are here to disturb the comfort of the fake and to awaken the real. Your journey is not one of ease, but of constant growth, testing the limits of your resilience and your commitment to truth. Each challenge you face, each moment of isolation, is a testament to your strength and your purpose. You walk a path that few dare to tread, a path that is often lonely but always fulfilling. The solitude you experience is not a curse but a gift, a space where you can connect with your true self, away from the distractions and illusions of the world. It's in these quiet moments, away from the noise of society, that you find your greatest insights, your deepest truths. You are here to be a beacon, and even if that means standing alone, you know that your light is necessary. You walk this path alone more often than not. After yet another confrontation that left you isolated, you wonder if it's worth it. But then, you remember the few who have stayed by your side, those who value your honesty and strength. They remind you that your journey, though difficult, is necessary. You continue, knowing that your authenticity is your greatest gift, even if it comes with the price of solitude. This loneliness isn't a punishment. It's a rite of passage. It's the universe's way of preparing you for the role you were born to play. You weren't meant to fit in. You were meant to stand out. The loneliness you feel is the space in which you grow, where you refine your truth and strengthen your resolve. And while it may be difficult, you know that it's also where your greatest power lies. You are being shaped, molded by the challenges you face, into the person you were always meant to be. Embrace the discomfort you cause in others as a sign of your power. It is your duty to remain true to your essence, no matter how others react. The world needs your light, your truth, your authenticity. Don't let the fear of isolation or the discomfort of others dim your shine. You are a chosen one, and with that comes the responsibility to lead by example, to live a life so authentic that it inspires others to do the same. This is your path, and though it may be challenging, it is also the most rewarding journey you could ever undertake. As a chosen one, your journey is one of unyielding authenticity. The world may find you too real, but that is precisely why you were chosen. Embrace your role and continue to shine brightly. Your authenticity is not a burden but a gift that illuminates the path for others, even when they can't see it themselves. The path of the chosen one is not easy, but it is necessary. Your authenticity is a gift to the world, even if it disturbs the comfort of others. Remember, it is better to be too real than to live a life shrouded in falsity. Keep shining, keep being real, and know that your light is making a difference, even when it seems like no one is watching. You are here for a purpose, and your truth is the key to fulfilling that purpose.